Speaking of people who should lie down and shut up, Gilbert Gottfried is here to join us for the news, Robin.
Is that right?
Yeah, we haven't seen him for a long time. Gilbert Gottfried at Caroline's next Wednesday, October 29th. Come on in.
Well, actually, I have seen him recently.
Where?
I actually ran into him one night.
Uh-oh. Must have been free food.
No, it was a free movie screening.
Oh, free movie screening, yeah. Gilbert goes to free everything. Gilbert.
It's free water.
Yeah, free water, free bottles of water.
And so he's stocking up.
Yeah. What, they make you rip the labels off the water?
Or you don't want to promote anything.
Every once in a while, the E! Network tries to act like they're a real television network.
Yeah.
So they rip the labels off the Poland Spring water to make it seem like, you know,
it's anonymous water.
We can't show free product endorsements, you know, like it's going to affect their bottom line. What is that? Hey, Einziger, why do you guys rip the labels off Gilbert's Poland Spring water?
Actually, Howard, in this instance, Gilbert did this. Usually, they don't mind Poland Spring being shown on the E! show. Gilbert ripped them off.
I was just like picking at it.
Oh, I thought this was something.
Yeah, he did it.
Oh, okay.
You sure that Gilbert is thinking of commercial endorsements? And
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
going to drink anybody's water unless they pay me.
Yeah, he's like, hey, maybe they'll pay me for this.
Yeah.
Why should I do it for free? Oh, okay. Because once in a while they do stuff, they cover stuff up, and I never figure out why.
Yeah, well, Gilbert and I had one of those uncomfortable social.
Poor you. You just went to enjoy a movie.
And there's Gilbert.
Yeah.
We got to try to talk to each other when we have nothing to say to each other.
About 2 seconds, it felt like a day.
Yeah, and Robin, you didn't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
Well, you have to. So we laugh and say, all right, let's do this. We know we have to do this.
Did you try to avoid them?
No, we were sitting right, one row away from each other.
Oh,
we
how
couldn't
awkward.
avoid each other, and the lights were up.
That would be my worst nightmare. Like, I go to finally to a free movie screening, and I just want to relax, and Gilbert's there, and I have to sit there and talk to him.
Then about a half hour before the movie started, Robin was already going, oh, okay, well, we should sit back and watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, I wish that movie would come on.
And you think Gilbert's an idiot, and he doesn't know that you're doing that, but he knows.
They didn't even dim the lights at all.
Right.
Oh, I think the movie's starting now.
All of a sudden, it's a half hour away from the movie, Robin's going,
Yeah.
It's starkly bright, but I'm watching the screen.
Right. Gilbert, I just want to soak in the atmosphere, okay? You got to be honest with Gilbert and say, Gilbert, you know what? You're really annoying, and I didn't come here to talk to you. He can take it. Yeah, you can handle that. People say that to you.
I'm used to it by now.
He goes to parties all the time because, Gilbert literally will go to parties 4 or 5 times a week if there's food.
Right?
Yeah. And he starves himself till like 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night. So, and he's so inappropriate. Gary says, Gary, when he was single, used to go to all the parties with Gilbert. And the parties don't start till 8:30, 9 o'clock. But Gilbert knows there's going to be free food.
Yeah.
And maybe chance that a girl will be
So I get there at 6 o'clock.
Like, to him, the perfect one is a catered penthouse party.
Yeah.
You know?
That's his cup of tea.
Yeah. So he goes, and you know how, there's always a buffet and stuff? And, you go over and you take a few things?
A nibble here, nibble.
Gilbert's, the first guy online, and his plate is always way loaded. You know what I mean? There's tons of, a real meal.
They don't even give you, big plates.
No. So he's going to go 50 times and load up his plate.
I'm with a large garbage bag.
Yeah. Don't you should bring your own plates and spoons and stuff. You go to so many of these free things. You really do. You are a party kind of guy.
Yes.
Howard, you know the classic.
Oh, this is the best.
When me and Gilbert did the TV show, we were in Las Vegas, and it must have been 35 degrees out.
Jackie and Gilbert got asked to be in a TV show, which was called The Watcher, which lasted 5 episodes.
Yeah. But they let the actors, whatever you call this, but they let the actors go to the front of the line. There were 250 people in line, and they're making steaks for everybody outside. Everybody's in line freezing and waiting, and we got to eat in the trailer, but they had to eat outside, too. The tables are set up. Everybody's in line. We cut to the front of the line, and Gilbert says, can I have 2? I was so and people are glaring at him.
He's bad enough he gets to go to the front of the line. He wants 2 steaks.
Yeah. He ate maybe 1 bite out of the second one. And
he didn't even eat it.
Yeah.
No, they could
I smelled it and put it down.
His eyes are bigger than his stomach. Oh, man. It's just there's so many great Gilbert stories out there. I mean, here's a couple. Here's a woman who Gilbert tried to pick up at a restaurant.
Yeah?
And tried to bribe her. All right, hi.
Hello.
Where did you meet Gilbert?
At a restaurant.
Your legend girl.
Yes.
What restaurant? In Manhattan?
In Manhattan. I was the hostess.
Are you good looking?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure you are. You're a hostess at a restaurant. Most hostesses are real good looking.
Yeah.
And did you know who Gilbert was?
Yeah, I knew who he was.
Right.
My brother used to do impressions of him when he was little. My brother did.
Right. So you were impressed to see Gilbert there?
Her brother's Fred Travelina.
So you physically, I'm sure Gilbert turned you off, right?
kind of mean.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, he's not your ideal man.
Well, he was a little bit older than I was. I mean, he was a lot older than I was.
I mean, but there are older guys who are hot. I mean, Gilbert's not hot.
He's not what you consider a hot old man.
I mean, first of all, Gilbert doesn't like work out.
Yes.
His body's a mess. Like Sean Connery's a hot older guy.
Not really.
It's not even that Gilbert even looks old. It's just that he's not attractive, right?
I look more like Goldfinger.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't really.
He's 150% Jewish. That's for sure. He's like the most Jewish-looking guy.
Theodore Bickel laughs at me.
Yeah. What's that lawyer, Scheckman?
Oh, yes.
He laughs at you. Barry Scheck.
He calls me
Barry
a Jew
Scheck.
boy.
Yeah, Barry Scheck calls you Jew boy. Here, O.J. called him a Jew. O.J. says, my theory is the jury doesn't like him because he is what I like to call Jewish.
Jewishness.
Tova Felcher called me a Maki.
Right. So you weren't real attracted to Gilbert, right?
Not really.
Right.
No.
So what happened?
Well.
Poor Gilbert.
What happened? Well, he said if I gave him my phone number, he'd get me, like, tickets or something to see his show or see something.
Oh, that's so pathetic.
Yeah.
Gilbert, is that a move of yours?
I don't know. I just kind of felt bad, so I gave him my phone number, and then I really didn't think he'd call, but then the next day I got a phone call from him.
Wow.
And
Mr. Romance.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, that's me now.
Gilbert, you're very lonely, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No.
What?
he asked if I wanted to meet him.
I'm here listening to two voices at once.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to hear what the girl says. He called her, and then what happened?
And I said I was on the other line, and I was to get back to him. And there was a number I could get back to him at, and he said, well, he'll call me back. And he called back a couple times, and I had my roommate answer the phone.
Right.
And then I told my brother what was going on, so he started calling and pretending he was Gilbert.
Well, why didn't you speak to Gilbert? It sounded like you wanted him to call you.
Why? No, he didn't.
No, she apparently didn't know how not to give him the phone number.
Oh, I see.
And Gilbert, I think this is really interesting.
Wait, I had him.
Gilbert doesn't give up.
Gilbert was standing in front of me, and two people from your show, not Melrose Larry Green, and someone else.
And Ratso?
Story and tell.
And Ratso.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, now I get this. Yeah, evidently, now listen to this. It gets even funnier.
Yeah.
You know how Melrose Larry Green's like retarded?
Yeah.
And you know how he came into $1.6 million from his mother?
Right.
So Ratso talks to Melrose Larry Green, okay? Ratso decides now that Melrose has $1.6 million, he's so retarded and desperate, every time he comes into town, let him take us to dinner.
Oh.
So Ratso tells Gilbert there's free dinner.
He calls me up.
Right.
I know Ratso's not paying for it.
Right, and we know you're infamously cheap.
Yeah, so he goes, hey, good news. Melrose Larry Green's mother died.
Right. Let's fleece this idiot.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, so now Gilbert quickly gets involved. He hears free meal.
So now Melrose is taking the two of these wackos.
These guys, rather than pay for dinner, would rather be with Melrose Larry Green. That's how wacky it gets. I heard about this dinner. Oh, and then so Gilbert must have been all full of himself. The three Jewish stooges.
Yes.
All right, let me ask you another question here.
What a pathetic table. You must have looked really hot that night next to Melrose and Ratso. No wonder you got all excited.
That's what I'm saying. I
Next
said,
to him, I'm Val Kilmer.
Yeah. Gilbert next to Ratso and Melrose is Val Kilmer.
He's Brad Pitt.
Mo, Larry, and Moise. What is it?
Another strange move that Gilbert did with this girl. Was he had her agent call. He had his agent calling her.
Right. Really?
And saying, hey, Gilbert's at this number. Call him now.
Wow, Gilbert, you must be horny.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Gilbert is well aware that, usually these girls don't want to give their number.
Right.
So when the girl said, is there a number I can call you at? He goes, oh, no, I'll call you back.
Right.
He knows he's not going to call.
Right. What is it?
I'll tell you two great, quick Gilbert stories very quickly involving women. First of all, I went to a party once, and there was a girl that I was friends with. She worked at a book company.
Right.
So she started rapping to Gilbert. She got all excited, thinking that she was going to become a star at the book company, and maybe do a book with Gilbert.
Right.
Because that was the biggest celebrity she'd met. So I guess Gilbert took her card and he called her the next day and he said, when are you taking me out to lunch?
Right.
And she was loving that idea. Yeah. And then somewhere along the line of the phone call, he asked her, would there be any oral sex involved, except he didn't say anything.
Wait a minute.
Wow, Gilbert's really horny.
Said that?
Yeah.
First, but he pulls it off as a joke.
Here's Ann on the phone. She says Gilbert tried the same thing with her.
Oh, my.
Ann?
Yeah.
Now, Gilbert tried the same move on you?
Yeah, kind of. I just wanted to let you know that was his move because he did the same thing with me. And
Are you a hostess?
no, I was working as a demonstrator at a toy fair.
At a toy fair?
He's at a toy fair?
What was Gilbert doing at the toy fair?
He was doing some promotion for Up All Night.
Oh.
And but it's the same move, you know, like.
Oh no, this one I remember.
This one you do remember?
Yes, she actually kept nagging me about getting her into your movie.
Oh, really?
And then I took a card. I never called her though.
Right.
Actually, I was asking him why he wasn't in the movie.
That's
Then
a
I
good question.
realized.
He's too expensive. Yeah.
The other interesting story I have, Howard, was that Gilbert took a friend of mine out on a date, but it was a lunch date for coffee.
Yeah.
And the bill came to like $2.12 or something. We talked about this on the air.
Yeah.
And Gilbert got up and went to the bathroom.
Right.
And the woman was sitting there waiting for Gilbert to come out, waiting. And then finally she said, I'm just going to pay this bill, but it's only $2.12. And then Gilbert came out and said, all right, let's go, and never offered to pay the bill.
Wow.
Maybe I'm taking
What
a
are you,
crap.
what?
Yeah. You got all the moves.
From the men's room?
Exactly.
How do you know when the bill has been paid? You watch.
Yes.
You look through the keyhole.
Hey, he's a big star. Why should he have to pay?
I'm looking through those slots in the men's room door,
Everyone should take him out.
Oh man. Wow, unbelievable. Hey, remember the girl? Did you know about this? Some girl called in claiming you were her father.
Oh, yes.
She's on the phone
Yes,
again.
she's been calling every day.
Oh, really? Calling
She
you?
calls my agent. She calls USA.
She claims you're her father.
Yes, I'm her father.
Well, Gilbert, it must be true.
Yeah, it must be.
Kim?
Yeah.
Now, you say Gilbert's your father?
Yeah, and I just heard him, and I'm not happy about that.
About what?
About him joking about it. I don't think it's funny.
Gilbert, have you ever taken a paternity test?
Yeah, I guess I should.
Yeah.
How old is your daughter, Gilbert?
Yeah, how old are you?
30.
30.
31.
And
Yeah.
Gilbert, you have a child that old?
Yes.
Well, how old are you?
I had her when I was 5 years old. Yeah.
Hey, you're what? You're like about 40 or something?
Something.
Oh, do you not? Oh, you
Yeah.
don't give your age or
Yeah, I'm
something?
one of those people. I'm going to be like Joan Collins. When
Dude.
I'm 90, I'll say what it's like to turn 40.
Dude, you're definitely 45
Yeah.
or something. You know, everyone's figured it out. Don't hide your
I
age.
know.
But well, then he would have had to have had this child when he was 15.
So you're saying Gilbert had a baby when he was 15? Think about a 15-year-old Gilbert getting laid.
Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
Is that a possibility?
Honey, you there?
I don't appreciate also being talked over. I said he hasn't had sex. He did it through in vitro fertilization.
What?
What?
He didn't have sex. He did it through in vitro fertilization.
Well, why would Gilbert want to have a baby through in vitro?
Why would he want to sell his sperm?
Why would he want to sell his sperm?
Well, I can understand that.
Your child, Gilbert. Why would I know about your sister, Marjorie, the Wicked Witch of the West, Kemp?
Marjorie, the Wicked Witch of the West
Because
Kemp?
I hate her.
What?
Because I hate her.
Because you hate her.
Do you actually have a sister named Marjorie?
No.
No.
No. And where did you get the last name Kemp?
I guess you don't share the same last name as your father.
Oh, everyone in my family has different last names.
Oh, maybe she got married.
Yeah.
Agent tell you that you were supposed to call me last night. Why don't you clear this up for yourself?
Wow, you have a stalker.
Yes.
Wow, can you imagine?
Gilbert has a stalker.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I never then actually met your mother. I sold her my sperm. What, like in a paper cup?
Why is her level so low? It's so hard to hear her, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate these phones.
So at 15, he was having in vitro fertilization or selling his sperm.
No. It's a big, long story.
How?
Well, how old is Gilbert?
I would say he's about 45 to 50.
Last time she called, she said I was 55. So I guess I'm younger.
I don't think Gilbert's 50.
Yeah.
That was my time.
He might look it, but I don't think he is.
So how did you find out I was your father?
Because when I was 7, you sued for custody with me, and I stayed 2 months in your
Wow.
house.
Of all the people to obsess on, Gilbert
Yeah.
Gottfried.
Gilbert would never sue for
If
custody.
he ever got a kid, he couldn't get a better one than me. Or a wife.
Too bad you didn't come down here. Where are you?
I'm like 15 minutes from D.C.
Oh, too bad.
What do you look like?
Hello?
Are you hot?
Yeah.
Hello?
Right now I need to lose some weight, but I'm extremely...
Gilbert, don't laugh at your daughter. That's
I know.
terrible,
It's
father.
wrong.
What if she really is your daughter, you
Yeah.
dope?
Well, he would know it. If he doesn't know it, then he isn't the right person.
Are you a big fat broad?
Who looks like Gilbert?
I would never say anything bad about myself.
Are you fat?
I would never say anything bad about myself.
That's not bad. I just want to know how much do you weigh?
I would certainly not tell you if I was overweight. My weight.
I know, but are you a heavy set girl?
Pardon me?
Are you heavy set?
I'm average boned.
Average bone? I didn't ask about your bones.
Yeah.
I asked about the stuff on the bone.
Everything surrounding the bone.
No, I'm fairly attractive. I'm.
And you couldn't be Gilbert's daughter.
Yeah.
No, maybe your mother was Cindy Crawford.
Because I'm going to find you.
Can you trade clothes with Orson Welles?
Howard.
Gilbert.
What?
Whenever a girl talks about the size of her bones, she's fat.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody else talks about how big their bones are.
Yeah, I've never heard that expression.
Yeah.
Except for a fat broad.
Yeah.
You're right.
She's big boned.
I'm not big boned.
So you're fat.
You're 5'3"?
I'm the girl that played Elizabeth Walton.
What?
Oh,
That's
man.
what I look like. The girl that played Elizabeth Walton.
You look like her or you are her?
No, I am her.
You're the girl who played Elizabeth Walton on the Waltons?
Right.
I'm John Boy.
It was a very good show.
Gilbert, you have a good attitude about being stalked. Some celebrities get upset. You enjoy it. Are you complimented by all this?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah, even a psychotic. I'm happy to have after me.
She might buy breakfast.
And yeah.
You think she was on the Walton?
Yeah.
Are you saying that I wasn't?
Yeah. We're saying you weren't.
Robin, do you think I'm not on the one? What's your name? I appreciate you saying.
What's your name?
What would you do if someone did call your 1-800 line and they were really in the movie? They're on television.
What is your name? What's your name?
The show isn't that great.
What is your name?
It was Cammy Coulter. They called me Cammy when I was a little kid as a nickname.
Oh,
first name is Kimberly.
How old is she now?
I don't know. This is
She's
really
30.
wacky. I can't believe we're talking to Gilbert Stalker.
Yeah.
Really?
And then, how come I don't have one?
Yeah.
Isn't that great how their minds will put together facts?
I know. Like,
He just said, oh, they called me that when I was younger.
so therefore I am her.
Yeah.
Well, she's obviously had a
I'm not saying to Gilbert because I don't like the way this is.
she's obviously had a psychotic break.
Why you don't refer to him as Dad?
Yeah.
Why don't you call him Dad?
Pop.
Because first of all, he really isn't my father if he never spent any time with me. But I want to tell Gilbert that.
But weren't you over my house when you were 7?
I do intend to take a couple of my friends or a couple of my relatives, and I want to come to your shows and see what you do. And I'd like you to work blue because I'd like to see your act that way.
All right.
So you want your father to work dirty?
Hello? Hello?
Hang on.
She's gone.
Right. Even stalkers hang up on
Does she
me.
call you all the time?
Yes, she's been calling my agent, USA.
Really?
Yeah.
They must all be very excited.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Don't you laugh at celebrities who sit there and like have press conferences and they're all upset?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you like it. I see you kind of enjoy it. You think it's funny, right?
She calls up all night and says, I'm Gilbert's daughter.
Right.
You should do a show with her.
Yeah, why don't you have her on the show? Here's my daughter. She was also on the Walton.
She also played Marilyn on the Munsters.
Right. Hi, Barbara, you're on the air. What did Gilbert do to you?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Oh, well, you remember Howard I called in like a year and a half ago?
Yes.
It was about the Holocaust, and now he's going to start it again. I know. I hate him so much.
Oh, yes.
Listen.
Oh, wait a second. I remember this woman. Let me set this up. Gilbert got invited to a dinner at Amy Heckerling's house. Amy Heckerling is a famous director. She did Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and I think one of the best movies ever made, Clueless.
Absolutely.
And this woman also is your parents. Your parents.
My parents went through the Holocaust. It was a very, very, very sad, horrible story.
So she worked for Amy.
Yeah, but are you sure it was that
7
bad?
years.
What?
I worked 7 years for Amy. And
Right. And anyway, so
which was worse?
Wait, let me just tell the story.
Yeah,
So her job was to pick Gilbert up. Amy wanted to have a dinner with Gilbert.
Yes.
What was the dinner about? Ostensibly to be in a movie?
Just dinner. I worked with her on Look Who's Talking Too.
Oh, okay. All right.
And she just likes Gilbert
Yeah.
to entertain her.
I didn't realize Amy did Look Who's Talking too.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was a great
that
director.
kills it now,
They
yeah.
does. Oh,
Everybody's
man.
got a dud. So.
All right, everyone's got a bad one in
That's
there.
the movie.
What?
Scene. That scene ruined the whole movie. The whole movie was good, but that scene ruined the whole movie.
Yeah, it's kind of, Betty Thomas doesn't invite me over to her house for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I worked in the whole movie with her.
Howard, she would invite you if you'd come.
Who, Amy
I
Heckerling?
would pick you up. I would pick you up, and I'd be really nice to you.
So you still work for Amy Heckerling?
I still work for her, and they have actually seen Gilbert at Caroline's.
All right, wait a second. So let me tell you the story. So this nice woman on the phone picks up Gilbert, I guess at the train station or something. Where was this? Up in Connecticut?
It was a hotel.
Where was it? Connecticut or something?
Oh, no, in
California.
Oh, in California. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and Gilbert was at a hotel.
right, and Gilbert would never buy like a taxi ride or something. So she goes to pick up Gilbert, and Gilbert goes, "Oh, here's her accent," and starts making Holocaust jokes.
Yes.
Is that it?
Well, she starts telling me about her parents who were in Auschwitz.
Right.
I told you not Auschwitz.
Oh, I'm sorry, I mispronounced it.
How do you say it?
Yeah.
It's Dachau and Bergen-Belsen, you full idiot. I told you that before.
It's like a scene from Hogan's Heroes.
So she picks up and right away she starts telling you about the Holocaust.
Yes.
Yeah, so go ahead.
That her parents were in the Holocaust, and I started asking her, how were they able to lose weight? I really envy them.
Dark humor in the car.
Yes, exactly.
You're trying to tear her up.
Yeah.
Do you remember what else he said? What else did he say to you, ma'am? I forget.
Howard, he said all kinds of stuff. I cannot even say it on the air.
Please, just to prove what a lousy he is.
He asked me if I was afraid to take a shower. He said, I don't even remember what horrible things he said. And I would still like to slap Amy across the face for not standing up for me and say, Gilbert, you leave my house now.
Wow, I can't believe Amy didn't fire you after you said you want to slap her across the face.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You don't?
I can hear it because I'm still mad at her.
Really?
She says, Howard, she says Gilbert is a poor nebbish.
Right.
You know what a nebbish is? Like a
Can your
poor...
parents...
She pities you, Gilbert.
Can your parents be buried in a Jewish cemetery because they have tattoos?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Jews can't be buried in a cemetery.
No, they can't have tattoos. It's against the law. I don't know
were your
why.
parents allowed to be buried in a Jewish cemetery?
No. What did you say?
Now, if your parents were tattooed, even by the Nazis, are they allowed to be buried?
That's what they say. That's what they say, that you can't have a tattoo, you can't be buried, and also you can't commit suicide. They won't bury you.
Really?
Yeah. I wish so that Gilbert would commit suicide already.
Right.
I can't stand his voice anymore. I think, you know what, Howard, after that call, everybody thought you were so funny.
Right.
But everybody thought that Gilbert was pasted, and they were shocked. They called Amy, they called Neil.
Right.
All over. Everybody asked me, who is this guy? We've seen him before. His ugly, loud voice.
So what are you telling me that now Gilbert can't visit Amy again because you would be the person in charge of picking him up, right?
I would never, ever, ever pick him up. Amy doesn't.
Can you pick me up in a cattle car?
Amy's not inviting him anymore. Amy is not friends with him anymore, really.
Is that right?
Gilbert, why did you, so have you heard from Amy, Gilbert, at all?
Every now and then. Yeah,
You
I hear from her. I don't hear
You don't hear from this woman.
You don't hear from Amy. Don't lie. She doesn't need you for anything now.
Now, your parents had a very hip look. Because they were thin, they shaved their heads. That's like hip among black people now.
You're ruining her movies. Why would she take you?
So you were
absurd.
What did they eat there to get that thin?
Gilbert, let me ask you something.
Lose weight.
See, you had no audience around you. Why did you attack this woman in a verbal way?
And how long a car trip was it?
Yeah, how long was it that you had to endure Gilbert?
Well, it's like I'm sitting in the car and I just want to either take a nap or look out the window, and she starts telling me about her parents.
So it was a little heavy, right?
Yeah. It's not true, Howard. He went on and on in Amy's house while he was eating and licking that plate because he's cheaper than you even said before.
Right.
He's the cheapest man. He gives all the Jews a bad name.
Right. Well, that's true.
Yeah, that is
Gilbert,
true.
you can't lie about that.
Yeah.
They hate him. They hate him. Everybody in Hollywood.
Jews are anti-Semitic when they meet Gilbert.
Then I was holding up the plate of food and I said, boy, I bet your parents didn't eat this good in Triple Inca.
Did you really?
Yeah.
He is so unbelievable. God will punish him. And already God did punish him because where are your jobs, Gilbert? What are you doing right
Well, he's going to be at Caroline's next Wednesday, October 29th.
That's a good segue.
Yeah.
Howard, can I tell you something?
Yes.
Howard, and I'm happy you're not calling me ma'am anymore because I felt so old when you called me ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Howard, listen.
Yes.
They went to Caroline's, and Molly, the little daughter, she's 12 now.
Yes.
She said to me, Barbara, the opening act was much funnier than Gilbert.
Really? Let's hope you have a good opening act, Gilbert.
What kind of a body does Molly have now?
A better one than you. You
Is she developing breasts yet?
Old man.
Push me off.
Gilbert, you look like your appendix is still in you.
Oh.
No, I have it walking alongside me.
So, ma'am, you say that...
Oh, ma'am, call me Barbara.
Barbara, you're saying you still work for Amy, the famous director.
Yeah, she's great.
You should be working for Lenny Riefenstahl.
Did you have to drive Gilbert back to the hotel?
I had to drive him back, and no, I didn't. I refused.
How did Gilbert...
I don't care what you do.
Gilbert, how did you get home that night?
He must have, I think Amy took him back.
Amy drove you back?
I got a ride back with Simon Wiesenthal. He said I'm driving in that direction.
Right.
You know, my parents died in the Holocaust.
He doesn't stop. He's so, and Molly, you know the little girl Molly? She said
she was hot. Has she been bad? I'd like to spank her.
Hey, you know what, Gilbert? Even kids find you revolting. That's very unusual.
So you're saying that, was this a good-looking woman? She sounds like she might be very good-looking, this woman.
Me?
Yeah.
I look like kind of Grace Slick.
Oh, now or back then?
I swear to God, she looks like you, but with a dress.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's not
really
true. Gilbert, that's ridiculous.
You look like Howard Stern?
I have wild hair. I have wild black hair, but I'm very attractive.
Do you look like Howard Stern in a dress?
No, I don't think so.
Right.
She thinks she looks like Elka Summers.
You just took offense, Gilbert. You said, hey, because you're Jewish, why does this woman have to now lay the whole Holocaust on you and the whole story? Like, you just wanted a nice, relaxing evening.
Yeah.
And maybe it was inappropriate, you felt.
Yeah.
I see. So even during dinner, you were relentless and kept up the Holocaust joke. To the point.
Relentless, Howard. He did one joke after another, and I was in tears. And Amy did not defend me.
Who else was at the dinner? Just because I find this fascinating.
The little daughter.
Just the daughter?
Yeah, and she was kind of shocked too.
And Frank was there.
And Frank.
She's so smart and adorable. She finds him so repulsive.
Right.
Adolf Eichmann was there.
Right.
But, you know, Amy took a photo at Caroline's with you and Molly. Molly said her hand was sweating. You touched her hand and she was sweating and she wanted to run away.
I had my hand on her ass.
She wanted to run away from you.
Gilbert's a pedophile.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
I heard that he gets hookers all the time. For sure.
Is that true? Do you get hookers?
Underage hookers.
Right.
Yeah.
Who told you he gets hookers? You're so
I can't
see. I have to spend money to get a hooker.
Can I tell you something? I think this woman's in love with Gilbert.
No, Howard.
Ma'am, I'm just telling you. I think you're in love with...
Howard, on the grave of my father. My sister who died, too.
Everything is Holocaust with her.
On the grave of everybody who died in the Holocaust. 6 million Jews.
All right.
I am swearing
So because of the 6 million, you won't go to bed with me?
I swear to you, I would be dead if I had to sleep with
This
Gilbert.
is why the 6 million died.
Why?
So this woman won't have to sleep with me.
My heart would stop. Gilbert, if you laid on top of me, my heart would stop.
Like Dracula.
Oh, my goodness.
I would sleep with anybody but Gilbert. Anybody.
What is it like to be Gilbert and have women constantly, like, tell you not only that not rejecting you, but, like, repulsed by you?
Would you sleep with an SS officer?
I think before I slept with you, I would.
Yeah.
You would?
I would close my eyes.
Yeah, but he could give her freedom.
I would close my eyes.
You would sleep.
My eyes.
You would sleep with a if you had to sleep with either a Nazi or Gilbert Gottfried.
Nazi.
You would sleep with a Nazi.
Nazi over Gilbert?
Right.
Well, he could slip her more bread.
Right.
I couldn't bear it. He's like, Howard is career.
If you had to sleep with either Gilbert or an AIDS patient, who would you sleep with?
You're going too far.
Well, we're just trying to determine.
We're just trying to determine how repulsed you are by Gilbert.
If you could either sleep with me or ride with Princess Di, which would you do?
That is horrible. See, now people will hate you even more, too. You did this to me, now you're doing this with Princess Di. People are already hating you all over America.
Well, ma'am, you've had a horrible experience. Your family was killed by the Holocaust, and Gilbert, you just tried to open up to him. You tried to open.
You know, Howard, you know how many times I've talked to really important people in Hollywood, like Amy's friends, like really important people, producers, everybody has been so nice. He was the only one.
Right.
But do you tell everybody the Holocaust?
People ask me where you're from. You know,
it's like entertaining.
Yeah, so when you tell them where you're from, you tell them you're from the Holocaust?
Yeah, you say, I'm from Auschwitz.
I'm not from the Holocaust, Howard. I'm too young for that.
Right.
I'm not from the Holocaust. But my parents went through it, and all my grandparents were killed, and my cousins.
Can't you just say you're from Germany and leave it that?
No, I can't. Howard, I somehow have to tell it. I don't know.
I see.
It's like, you know.
Well, you got to expect any kind of reaction then.
Right.
No, but nobody would say something like that.
I see. Like, who are some of the famous people you've actually got to spend time with as a result of working for Amy Heckerling, the great director?
Oh, it's not spending.
But you know what I mean.
Being on the set, John Travolta,
right.
He did Look Who's Talking To.
And you told John Travolta your Holocaust story, and he was very...
No, he didn't.
And he danced
to it. Told my Holocaust story.
Who?
A little bit. Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler.
He is the sweetest guy in the whole wide world.
And when you told him...
Did he give you the thumbs up and go, hey?
Hey, that's a good story.
Hey, Cunningham.
He was so nice. Oh, God.
Did you tell Donnie Most the story?
Who? Donnie Most? Gilbert, people were in shock when you did that on Howard's show. They couldn't believe it.
Who called you?
This man must
Did you tell Laverne and Shirley the Holocaust story?
Come on. People said you should be in a mental hospital.
Isn't Gilbert, like, you think, like, Gilbert's just wacky for the show or something, and then when he gets off the air, he's like normal? He's not.
That's what I love about the story.
Yeah, it's great. There was no audience.
People said we can't understand how Howard Stern can love Gilbert so much. They don't understand.
Oh, I don't love him. I'm repulsed by him.
You like him a lot.
But, just imagine, not only does he do it in the car, he continues throughout the dinner.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the dinner with a 12-year-old in the room. Because Gilbert's trying to impress the 12-year-old. Probably wants it.
I think I had a shot with her.
Cannot stand Gilbert. She thinks he's an imbecile. He's like something.
Would she let me give her a bath?
Was Amy upset during the dinner that Gilbert was goofing on your
No.
Holocaust?
Amy's like in that. I told Amy I'm going to quit my job.
Really?
I said, Amy, I'm so disappointed in you. How can you be, like...
Didn't you try to get...
Laughing? She thinks, and, I said, Amy, I was waiting for you to defend me because I would have jumped on him and killed him. I swear.
I heard she hit on Amy for more money because I was insulting her on the Holocaust.
And she gave me more money.
Yes, she gave her more money.
Right.
So you're using the Holocaust to get more money.
Oh, Gilbert, you don't even know what you're doing to yourself in your career. You're killing yourself. You have nothing.
Yeah. The whole table's hysterical in this one.
Right. Well, listen, I understand your horror and shame.
And you know what? People said Howard was so nice.
Of course. I mean, Gilbert is insensitive.
Deutschland, nobody.
What did you do about Howard?
Yes.
I still have nightmares about. I swear to God, I still have nightmares about this. How
much hard drive with Gilbert?
She doesn't have nightmares about the Holocaust. She has nightmares about me.
No, she's talking about the Holocaust.
Yes.
You have nightmares about the Holocaust, and you tried to say to Gilbert, reach out to him because he's a Jew.
Howard,
yes.
Howard, I don't want pity or anything like that, but I just want to say another thing. After my father survived and everything with 80 pounds.
Yes.
20 years later, he got killed in a car accident with my little sister. So my life was really not that easy. So I don't need a clown like Gilbert laughing. Gilbert, who never had one tragedy in his whole life but himself.
Have you ever looked at my penis?
But let's face it. I mean, it's kind of heavy to pick someone up and lay this all on them.
I wouldn't lay that on a normal person.
Right.
I am very sensitive and nice to guys.
Right.
And you picked out Gilbert?
Because you know what? He pretended that he was really, sympathetic,
Yeah. Well, all right. You know what? When he looks empathetic, it's just gas.
I think so, too.
That's right.
I tried to pick her up by promising to get her into the Holocaust Museum.
No, and Howard, I told you that Amy had to reimburse him for the taxi cab.
Wow.
She said,
is that
you
true,
owe
Gilbert?
me $650 for the cab.
Oh, my God. Is that right?
That's right, and Amy just laughed. What can you do with a guy like this? I said,
right.
Why do you hire him? He ruins your movie. It's horrible.
Right. Well, anyway, there it is. There it is. Another horrible story about Gilbert, and they keep rolling in.
But maybe you can get Amy.
This is like the Jerry Lewis telethon.
Maybe you want to listen to this.
You want Amy on your show?
Amy, we would love to have on.
Yeah, Amy likes you now because you've been so good, you know.
Well, come on.
You said good things about her, and she
makes great movies.
Yeah, you're sweet, Howard, and she will come on. I told her, Amy, you got to go on, Howard.
Come on, and we'll talk about the Holocaust.
She looks really great.
Could you do one thing for me before you go?
What is that?
Could you go, Hogan?
What was that? I can't even understand. It's so pathetic.
Hogan.
And you're not even funny on anything. You're not funny on the news. You're just annoying. You're horrible as a vampire. Horrible.
He's awful as everything.
Oh, you can't critique Gilbert's vampire.
Yeah. No, yes, I can.
Please, Gilbert, I beg you.
He was insecure. He was just sitting there like a fool. You did the whole thing.
Here is the vampire.
He was awful. I had to turn off the TV.
Children of the night.
But before I want to say one thing, Howard. You know, that's not even about Gilbert.
Please, Miss Holocaust woman. I think the blood of the Holocaust woman. Oh, German woman. Please, I bite the neck.
I don't think
the German
one
woman.
Thing is, he just one funny scene. You know what? Gilbert.
Yes. Dracula's here. Wait.
Yes. I am not going to hurt you. I will give you eternal life.
Before I go,
you will live forever.
Howard.
Among the undead.
Ah, you're so boring. Boy, are you boring.
This is always...
I will shoot a number into your arm.
Shoot a number?
With my fangs.
You know what, Gilbert? How can I say something?
Save your head.
Gilbert, you were really
with my teeth.
Gilbert, they should have left. Gilbert. Howard?
Yes?
I think...
If I bit the necks of your parents, they would be alive today, drinking the blood of the
My
living.
mother is alive, asshole.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll have to talk to Igor about this.
Howard?
Igor, you said she was dead.
Howard.
The hell is the matter with you?
Yes.
Shut up, Gilbert. Your voice is
Sorry,
annoying.
mister.
Yes?
Let me put her name on the computer.
Gilbert, they should have left the foreskin.
I bit off my own foreskin with my fangs.
Your foreskin should have been on you and somebody should rip it off. And then you would know what pain means.
That feels good. Rip my foreskin off. Right now, I command you, stare into my eyes and rip my foreskin off. Oh, boy, that's good.
You're so anti-Semitic. You're the most anti-Semitic Jew I've ever seen.
He's an anti-Semite. You're right.
He gives Jews a bad name.
He does.
Everybody was...
Igor is a Jew. He stands crooked. And his stomach keeps falling off.
God, you make everybody laugh but me. I don't know.
I don't find it funny at all. It's not funny at all, man.
I don't understand Robin and Howard. Robin is
I'm laughing at Howard. Howard's crying. He's laughing.
I'm crying because of the 6 million people who died in Germany.
But especially Robin is so sensitive, you know. And
Right.
I don't understand.
She's outrageous.
I told you I wasn't laughing at Gilbert.
Gilbert is childish. Gilbert is childish.
She feels sympathy because she was in slavery. She understands. I would like to bite her on her black neck and her blacker klugi. I want to bite her black klugi. Stare into my eyes. I bite your klugi.
All right.
You know, before I got
He did this the whole night at Amy Heckerling's house?
Pardon?
He did this the whole night at Amy Heckerling's?
He spent like 2.5 hours there.
I like Jewish blood. There is a hint of gefilte.
You know what's funny to me is she was heckled at Amy Heckerling.
I know.
Yeah, he can make Jewish jokes about
That
gefilte.
could be her autobiography.
Gilbert, are you saying that the only reason that you did all these Jewish jokes is because it was inappropriate that she bring up the Holocaust?
Yes, I thought it was really inappropriate.
Right.
Because otherwise he does good Jewish impressions. I have to give him that. I have to give him that.
All right.
Listen, like his rabbi.
This is crazy. This is crazy. I
Give
understand.
me some Holocaust klugi.
If you don't bring up the Holocaust, he makes funny Jewish jokes. He does funny old Jewish men and stuff like that.
I'm like Alan King.
All right. Well,
No,
anyway.
but he's no Jackie Mason, because when I listen to Jackie Mason, I'm really laughing.
Right. He doesn't have the ability to make you really laugh.
Gilbert just makes you smile.
But Howard, before I go, I don't want to waste time on Gilbert. I want to give one compliment to Baba Booey.
Right.
I just wanted to say he's been very polite to me on the phone.
All right. Listen, thank you, and say hello to Amy for me.
I will,
All right.
Howard.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
That is Barbara, who is very upset with Gilbert.
Always. Still.
Always. There's so many people.
I think
But she got it out of her system.
that dinner must have happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it was yesterday.
Oh, there's tons of people on the line who have Gilbert stories.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, God, I could sit here all day and listen to them, but I got to take a break, and I've got to...
This was one of the funniest.
Oh, those are great. Want to hear from a guy who Gilbert tried to pick up his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. No, this is great. I'm sorry, I can't break right now. Joe.
Yo.
Gilbert tried to pick up your wife?
Yeah, I was at the, about 6 months ago, I was at the Soho Grand Hotel.
Yeah.
With my wife, and I met a couple there. And they got a lounge area before the bar. And my wife goes up to get a drink. I'm hanging out with my friend. And I see this redheaded girl. Mike, I think she worked for him. Going up and trying to introduce, say, listen, there's a comedian over here, thinks you're pretty, wants to meet you. I see my wife talking, she's pointing at me. So I walk over, I see what's going on. I look over, and it's Gilbert, having someone trying to pick up my wife for him.
Wow.
Wow, Gilbert is people?
What do you do? You don't buy that one.
This one I don't buy at all.
Oh, but actually, and in a bar at the same time.
What bar was this?
What?
What bar was this?
The Soho Grand Hotel, the bar upstairs.
You ever been to the Soho Grand?
I've been there, but I've never.
Then it's true.
He had a little gray sweatshirt. He looked like a little midget. I was ready to beat the crap out of him, first of all.
Now, here's a guy, Gilbert dated this guy's mom. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
Hey, what's happening?
Not too much. My mom was in high school with Gilbert.
Oh, really?
She said he was a real spaz.
High school?
What high school?
In East Greenbush.
Where?
East Greenbush.
East Greenbush?
Hey, you know.
Ice Cream Bush.
Yeah. Oh, Ice Cream Bush.
You know when you go to East Green Bush?
No, he said Ice Cream Bush.
Oh, Ice Cream Bush.
Yeah.
And finally, one more story. A person saw Gilbert pick up his own tip at a restaurant.
Now, that's ridiculous.
Is that true?
Howard.
Yeah.
It wasn't his own tip. He didn't pay or anything. It was somebody else that left the tip.
Wow, I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
And he didn't want to take it all because he didn't want it missing. There was 2 50s, so he took one.
Wow.
50s?
Yeah, so it looked like it was still on the table.
Wow.
Who leaves $100 tip? Especially the restaurants I go into.
Right.
That was at Mann's, though. 100 was a small tip.
Mansville?
At Mann's Chinese Theater.
Oh, Mann's Chinese Theater? Were you there at Mann's Chinese Theater?
It was about 6
There's no
years
restaurant in Man's Chinese Theater.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years ago.
Who cares? Anyway, yeah. What is the gorilla, real quick?
Well, I kind of dated a girl that dated Gilbert.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was she hot?
Yeah, she's pretty damn hot, right?
I think so, if we're thinking of the same one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, Gilbert gets
I don't know.
No, she was a real good-looking girl. And the thing was that, I was like... She
kind of kills it that she had sex with him, too.
Yeah, I know.
It's just
she should have been
ruins
done
it.
after.
How did you get it?
I
know how Gilbert gets
I met
it.
her at one of Fred's gigs, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
really?
I just started talking to her. And
Wow, and you got her?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it really kind of turned me off that she was with Gilbert before me. But
oh, please.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Gorilla, you're kind of bottom of the barrel, too, you know. Yeah, don't be goofing on Gilbert. Yeah.
But anyway, she said that,
Is she a good lover?
She said that...
she wouldn't really give me that many details. The only thing that I can get out of her was that, she, in his apartment, that she goes, I know he has money, and yet his clothes must be like 30 years old. And she goes, he wouldn't go out and buy new clothes, and I had to, like, go out and buy them for him and then give it to him. So, like, 'cause at least when he went out to these premieres and stuff, that he would dress like, you know, someone, like, in the 90s.
Wow. Who bought me clothes?
She said she had to go out and buy you clothes.
This story's making less sense.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe all of them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth. But anyway, Gilbert, your legend grows.
Yes.
Gilbert will be at Caroline's next Wednesday, October 29th.
I gotta see this guy.
I got to take a break. Can you hang out? Oh, of course you can hang. You know where to go.
Yeah.
Right.
I hang out.
But we'll do the news next.
Oh, he's got a hot date.
Yeah.
Well, if you were smart, you'd leave now. You just killed. So
Yes.
you don't like to leave.
It'll only go downhill.
We'll see. When we get back, if you want to be here, be here.
Until he came back with that story, that was sort of like
A downer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Gilbert, why don't you give your sizes out over the air so people
Yeah,
can see the clothes?
exactly.
Caroline's next Wednesday, October 29th. Gilbert Gottfried. You want to go see someone real funny. And we got to take a break. We'll come back and do the
Next
news.
14 and a half.
All right. Will you be doing your Dracula at Caroline's?
Oh, I think I might.
You might.
Yeah.
You'll do whatever they want.
Yeah.
You don't care.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What an honor to have Gilbert Gottfried here at Caroline's next Wednesday, October 29th. Well, Gilbert has made fun of the Holocaust so far this morning. Let's see what else we can talk about.
Yeah, what else can he have fun with?
Yeah, we're having some
Tragedies.
fun. We were sitting here discussing who was cheaper, Gilbert or Ratso, and we decided Ratso makes Gilbert look like a piker.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like a drunken sailor in a whorehouse next to him.
Yeah, you're nothing.
Yeah.
You're not even frugal next to Ratso.
He's going, it's great, his mother died. Now he can take us out to dinner.
I can't imagine being excited about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, forget it. That makes Ratso's year. The fact that he fleeced a retard.
Oh. Like he discovered gold.
Right. Free money. A retard just made an inheritance.
Everyone makes money, doesn't he?
Who,
A
Ratso?
house, a summer house.
No, Ratso buys a house. And can't, Ratso will buy a house for like $50,000.
Yeah.
I mean, in 1998, literally $50,000. So close. You're not going to believe it. I found a house on the water, $50,000. And I'm going, what the? He goes, it's not a great neighborhood. I mean, it's just like, but it's going to get better.
It's beautiful.
I found out there's like tons of black people around the neighborhood. And like Ratso didn't know this. It's like, because he can't figure out. He goes, I got a fantastic deal.
He has a summer home in Harlem.
Yeah. Let's face it, because people are so prejudiced that here's Ratso. Here's Ratso. Ratso.
Yeah.
Statistics. You spent like what, $50,000 on that house?
What?
You spent like $50,000 on that house you just bought?
It's more than $50,000.
Not much.
How do you get a house on water for $50,000?
How about 60?
A little bit more. Anyway, let's.
Is it about, what was it, about 70?
The point is Gilbert.
So Ratso will be like, hey, $70,000 or whatever, $50,000, and I'm like, who buys a house for $50,000?
Where is this house?
So he bought it someplace. I'm not even sure where it is. It must
It's out on the island, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere, but
On the fashionable South Shore.
Yeah, it's on the South Shore.
There was a South Shore.
So you go, wait a second. It's on the water, and it's like $60,000 this house. And Ratso's like, it's green, we love it. And I'm like, there's no. So I found out some investigating. I spoke to someone who went out there. They got a picture of it for me. So I go, look at it. She says, it's surrounded by black people. That's the laugh of the whole. Everyone's laugh with Ratso. What are you talking about? He bought in a bad neighborhood.
Anyway,
what are black people
It's
doing
on Malcolm X
water?
Boulevard.
They're not on the water. They're like right next to the houses on the water.
it's multicultural. Okay.
They're on the water in those long boats.
They're pushing Ratso into the sea.
Ratso's like Tarzan.
Oh, dear. What, Ratso? I can't hear you.
What?
Gilbert, without a doubt, is the cheapest man.
No, you're cheaper than Gilbert.
I am like George Soros compared to Gilbert.
No, you're the cheapest guy.
No.
Ratso, you bought a house for $50,000.
One night, Gilbert and I were at Columbus at Rick Newman's old restaurant. And I think Drew Barrymore was there with her mother.
Right.
And
she was about 3 years old, drinking at the table.
You remember this?
Yeah. She didn't even have her adult teeth.
6 years old. She kept on.
She had no teeth. She was a kid, and she was getting drunk.
Oh God!
Her mother was getting her drinks. She was like having a scotch.
Wow. Well, we can't mellow her out.
Benny was there, and Gilbert keeps on yelling across the room,
What about the $6 million? What about the $6 million, Daddy? So we had a great night.
Right.
So it's the end of the night, and we both have to go home. So we get in a cab, and it's about 79th Street in Columbus.
Yeah.
And we start going downtown, and Gilbert lives in Chelsea, and I was going to visit a friend in Chelsea. So we take a cab together. We share a cab. We get to 23rd and 8th. And I know Gilbert, I've been with him for years and years, has never sprung once for anything.
Right.
We go to topless clubs. Our friends and me are buying beers. Gilbert would never buy a beer for anybody.
Right.
So we get down.
Why should I buy? I'm more famous.
We get to 23rd and 8th, and I go, all right, so let's get out. And I go, like I'm making believe I'm going to pay for the bill. And I go, and I turn white. I go, Gilbert, I have no money. You got to pay for the cab. And Gilbert, it's a stunned silence. And Gilbert is just freaking out. And he goes, and I said,
he's trying to make it into a bigger story.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Gilbert starts, no, I swear.
Yeah.
Gilbert starts into his pocket and pulls out little crumpled $1 bills. One.
And I say, goodbye, boys.
3.
I'll tell you one about Ratso.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, now we're going to trade.
When Belzer's daughter
Right.
was in town, she was staying in like the same house as Ratso. You know,
Right.
it's like same apartment building. So they were sharing a cab together, and she had no money. You know, she was like 15 or something.
Right.
And she brought home some food from dinner, and they shared a cab together. And Ratso goes, look, when we get to your house, can I have half of that?
Hey, wait a second, though. What is it, Baba Booey?
There's one story about Ratso that I've heard that is really legendary.
Right.
Ratso used to go to the Lone Star Cafe downtown.
Right.
And this guy Mort, owned it, and Ratso was friends with that guy Kinky Friedman, who lived in Texas. So Ratso tried to get in one night, and Mort wasn't there. So Ratso had to pay the $5 or $10 cover charge, which he absolutely refused. So the way I heard it was, at 1 o'clock in the morning, he went to a payphone, called Kinky Friedman Collect in Texas to tell him to call Mort Cooperman at home to let him in for free.
Wow. That's nothing. Hey, but wait a second. Ratso.
He got in, he said.
Here's the girl that dated Gilbert and Grillo, and she says she used to stay up at night helping him roll pennies for the bank. What is it? Let's get her on the line. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Becky.
Hi, this is Rebecca. How are you?
Hi. You went out with Gilbert?
Yeah, it wasn't a serious thing, but I did see him for about over a year.
Right.
Sounds pretty serious.
No.
For Gilbert, that's serious.
No, I had other, people I was seeing.
There's no way Gilbert's big, is he?
Holding hands is serious for me.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's very sweet.
Now, what do you mean you had to roll pennies for?
Well, I mean, he had a bunch of change on his coffee table, and with rolls there, and he was rolling. I said to him, "You can't be serious."
That was the night out. He invited you over?
No, we really didn't go out much. We didn't go out at all. Actually.
Well, it costs money, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right, so you take your girlfriend out, though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Gilbert's that cheap. Did you ever have to pay for dinner and stuff?
We didn't have dinner.
Really?
Who were you with, Gilbert?
You would just have sex with him?
I'd hang out with him. I'd talk to him about his shows. I'd help him pick out his clothes for when he's going to be on TV.
Now, what about TV?
He doesn't have cable.
He will not get cable.
No, he will not get cable.
You really won't get cable? Why won't you get cable, Gilbert?
You can't even see your own show.
Which I can.
That's the one reason.
Yeah. Gilbert,
that's why I won't get it.
Gilbert, you will not get cable? Why? Seriously.
Oh, I don't know. I'll get it one of these days.
Don't you think as a comedian you want to be up on...
It took him 8 years to buy a VCR.
Really?
And he called me to find out which was the cheapest brand and the best one.
Oh, I remember going to a National Lampoon party that they had at this club where everyone got a drink ticket.
Right.
It was really cheap. So Ratso was following me around the whole night. He goes, "Can I have your drink ticket? You don't drink." So I give him the drink ticket, and then he goes, later on, he goes, "Can you go out and tell them you didn't get the drink ticket? They forgot."
Does Gilbert have rabbit ears on his television?
Do you have rabbit ears? So how do you pick up television? I mean,
I put a clothes hanger outside.
No, but you think you'd want the good reception that cable brings? You know,
I have one of those record players with the crank on it.
Really?
Yeah.
No, really.
You don't even have a CD player, though.
He doesn't?
No.
Doesn't he like to have music on when he has sex?
No, I hum along with
Was he good in bed?
I'll give him that.
He is good.
Wow.
Oh, man. What a shock. And Gilbert, he's willing to give you that.
Sure, it doesn't cost anything.
Anyway, he's a good guy.
All right, thank you. I can't believe you rolled pennies with him.
And I was good in bed.
Yeah. Did you really roll the pennies?
I didn't do it. I refused to.
Oh, he rolled them.
I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
So he sat there and rolled pennies.
He's got to have a lot of money if he's rolling pennies.
Yeah.
I mean, he's frugal. Ratso, you don't roll pennies, do you?
No.
All right. All right, thanks, guys.
I guess
I invest.
Gilbert is the cheapest.
Yeah, Gilbert might be the cheapest. Thank you, Ratso, for clearing that up.
Yeah.
Right, bye.
Bye, Howard.
Bye. Lovely. What a life.
We're having too much fun.
We are. We better do some news. Man, you're funny. Your personal life is so funny. So sad. At least you're getting laid, though. That's good. Yeah. You had that chick for a year. Yeah, that's pretty good. That took me by surprise.
Yeah, how'd that pass us for so long?
How do you date a girl for a year and never take her to dinner?
But you guys really got to get together with Ratso and hear him brag about how he paid so little for his house. He thinks he got away with something. You got to see it.
The whole world wasn't watching.
Yeah, and like, you know, as soon as I heard this story and what he paid, I'm like, wait a second.
Wrong with this story.
Something's wrong with this story.
Welfare families will
Yeah,
in
right.
that area.
Yeah. Can't even go out for a quart of milk.
Yeah.
Have you been to Ratso's house, Gilbert?
No, I heard.
I hear Ratso's got religious statues all over his house.
Really?
He's like a kook.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm praying that the Schwarzes won't attack me.
I'm going out for milk. Cover me. I'm thinking of going out there just to check out the house.
We gotta go.
It's supposed to be a real goof. We ought to all go.
Let's get in a car and go.
Go to Ratso.
Hey there, Jew boy.
Hey, Ratso, welcome to the neighborhood.
Let's get a Humvee.
Yeah.
Field trip out.
Oh, man, River.
Well, hello there. Hello there, Ratso. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Ratso.
Trick or treat.
I don't know what you people are doing.
My old neighbor, Ratso. Ratso Sloman. Howdy. The head muckety muck.
I'm a black man. I can't lend you a quarter.
What you mean, trick or treat?
At least Ratso won't be borrowing anything from the neighbors.
Hey, excuse me, Ratso. Can I steal your lawnmower?
That's supposed to be borrow.
I ain't going to borrow it. I'm going to steal it. Let's see you get it back. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. What you going to do about it? You don't man to be dancing with your girlfriend, do you? By the way, she might come back bow-legged, but hey, don't mind. Welcome to the neighborhood. Hey, you got water from there.
If you pay for the drinks, you can have my girlfriend.
You gave Ratso your drink ticket?
Yes. And then he wanted me, he was saying, look, go back, tell him that they never gave you a ticket.
Unbelievable.
Can we do the news before noon today?
It's unbelievable. Never mind that. Robin, here's news. You want breaking news? There's a woman on the... let's see. There's a guy on the phone. He says he's at the scene where a woman has locked herself in her house. They tried getting her out with tear gas, but she fired 2 shotgun blasts at the cops.
Where's this?
Let's just find out. This could be breaking news.
This is a girl I wanted to have sex with.
Ratso lives next door to her. Dave, is that going on right now?
Well, it's been going on.
Where's it going on?
Been going on.
Where is this?
Where are you?
Well, we live outside of Buffalo, as a matter of fact. That's another thing I wanted to say. Hey, hats off to Q107 for getting you back, because we've been missing you.
Oh, I guess our Toronto station goes into Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, even farther. We get you all the way out to Erie.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wait a second. So this woman is locked in a house. The cops
Has this been going on for weeks?
Well, this is in Illinois. Yeah,
Oh.
It's been going on for like a month.
Okay.
All right, well, we know about that. Okay, fine. Goodbye. I thought he was at the scene.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought it was happening out by Ratso's house. Ratso, come on over. We need your help.
There's a woman shooting at people. Oh, I didn't say today.
Yeah, 15 weeks ago. Great.
Can we do the news?
Yes. Come on. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, come on. I'm going to fall asleep.
Gilbert. Hey, Ratso, why did you rob that bone from my dog? Hey, that Alpo ain't for you.
Gilbert, calm down for a second.
Okay.
All right.
Something else to get into. This is one of the most fascinating stories I've ever heard. These are people who... Thank you. These are people we need to look up now.
Who?
Earlier this month, in Madison, Wisconsin,
Who?
a brother and sister were convicted of felony incest.
Holy mackerel.
We're Ratso's neighbors.
Now a state court says they have no parental rights to their 7-year-old daughter.
Wow.
The siblings have had 3 children, and they have lost rights to all 3. The woman is pregnant with a 4th child. And
Yeah,
they
baby.
say their relationship has nothing to do with their ability to be good parents.
Do they live near Ratso?
The court disagrees. In yesterday's ruling, the judges wrote the arrangement makes a mockery of the concept of family.
Hey, we ain't no monkeys.
Monkeys.
The brother and
That
sister
don't
are
make
in
me a
jail
monkey.
until they're sentenced for their felony conviction. They face 10 years in prison.
So the brother and sister are married?
Yeah, I don't know if they could get married,
Well,
but
you know
they've
what I
been sleeping with each other in a relationship and have had several children.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Get laid.
Do they have drink tickets?
The kids must be so cross-eyed that their eyes are in each other's heads. Can you imagine that?
I want to know, what do their children look like?
Gilbert.
Are they single?
Are they single?
Do they have drink tickets?
Yeah. Fantastic.
A night of cold weather did
Hey,
not...
can I have that girl with the arm growing out of her head?
did not stop them from playing baseball in Cleveland. However, it did make the game a little messy, is what they're saying.
Do you watch sports at all?
Oh, yeah. I drink beer.
No, you don't care about World Series.
No.
All right.
The Cleveland Indians tied a World Series record for making 3 errors during a 7-run ninth that allowed Florida to post a 14-11 victory. The Indians built a 7-3 lead against Al Leiter, but by the 5th inning, but their bullpen and glove work cost them the victory. It was all those errors they made that allowed runs to go home. Gary Sheffield hit one of the Marlins' 3 home runs and finished with 3 hits and 5 RBIs.
Hey, Gilbert, how many guys on a baseball team?
Well, baseball players have very odd names.
No, how many guys?
I don't even know.
Really? You seriously don't know?
Baseball.
You don't even know how many players are on a team? Wow.
How could you be an American?
Yeah.
God, that's unbelievable. As a kid, no one ever had you play baseball?
No.
You were picked for any team.
Oh, yeah, what team would want me on there?
Yeah. But even as a kid, you didn't learn how many...
Yeah, I don't know a thing about
You're being
baseball.
honest? You don't know how many guys are on a team?
I know that Babe Ruth played baseball.
Do you know the guy who stands on the mound, do you know what he's called?
The mound guy.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you know what that's called, right? That's the pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you know.
Our baseball players have very strange names.
Yeah, right.
Well, anyway, here is
Help
Gary
me the
Sheffield.
names of the players. You got a catcher. Now, wouldn't this be a fine team without a catcher?
Gary
Who's on first? What's
Sheffield.
on second? I don't know who's on third.
Gary
What I
Sheffield?
wanna know.
Like to get out of your
You're not getting out of here for a month.
I just told myself I was going to get him the inside part of the plate, and I seen where Marquise was playing me, and I just said I was going to try to hit the ball into right
You
field.
live near Ratso.
Yeah. Now, since it's who's on a first or who's on a second, and I don't know who's on third.
Oh, goodness.
What you said before, but a drug thing, because I want kids, I don't know why you put it back in that thing.
That wasn't Brian Gumbel, that's for sure.
That's Ratso's landlord. What are you on? Rent? Heat? Plumbing? Mortgage? Roof? Late? Tenant? Fixing? Paint?
All right.
Here is
Yeah, I get a little more.
Drink ticket?
All right, go ahead.
He's the designated hitter for the Marlins. He must have been in some key play last night.
Nobody designated hitter? Baseball?
catcher.
All right. That is ridiculous. What tape did you say, Robin?
Jim Eisenreich.
What did he do again? He's one of the guys?
He plays
penalty.
All right, already, yeah.
He's on the Marlins.
All right.
If I hit it the way I'm trying to, it's a line drive to right, and it's a base hit. But I get under a little bit, and it went out.
And here he is again saying that
Too bad he could speak English.
he's really happy about this hit.
Why are you playing a tape?
It's an active thought that I hit a home run. And I feel very fortunate that I was able to do that. And, I guess, it helped our team get back in the game a little bit.
Douchebag says what?
Really, it was an act of God that he hit a home run.
Bloobity, God.
So what does he think? Forget it. Go ahead. God is only on their side? Oh, man.
Bloobity, Jesus. Bloobity, Virgin Mary.
Catch every sixth word. All right, go ahead. Yes, Robin, you were saying. Please, Gilbert, enough. You're not that funny. Gilbert, Gottfried, and Caroline next Wednesday, October 29th. We'll be doing a famous impression of Ratso's neighbors.
In Missouri, prison officials say a convicted man's last words were that
Innocent.
What were his last words?
Was committing a premeditated murder. Alan Bannister was executed by injection this morning for an alleged contract killing in 1982. Bannister says he shot the man by accident. Prosecutors say
Bloobity, accident.
He'd kill her.
Wow.
The case gained international attention, and some celebrities joined the cause. Ed Asner, Sean Penn, and Harry Belafonte.
Gilbert was going to join, but it cost money.
Unsuccessfully seeking clemency.
There wasn't a buffet.
From Missouri's governor, but they did not get the governor's ear. Here's a protester named Rita Fleischman, who was outside the prison last night.
Bloobity, Jew.
Governor Carnahan, hear your people!
Oh.
What's the dealio?
Execution!
Oh, imagine being married to her.
Want to be put to death.
Ratso, where's the milk? One piss to Schwarz's and get some groceries. We don't have any eggs.
We're afraid to get the groceries. Can't they deliver?
The house is $50,000, but I'm surrounded.
Anyway, this guy was supposedly paid by another guy whose wife was, I think, living with another man. So he went to the door, and somehow that guy wound up dead. He says the gun went off by accident.
Bloobity,
He was a paid contract killer, and now he's been put to death.
I went to Ratso's house. We lived for 2 weeks on canned goods. Great to leave.
Try the beam.
Oh, dear.
What else is in the news, Robin?
A Central Florida woman is losing custody of her kids because she's addicted to the Internet.
Wow.
A Lake County Circuit Court judge says Pam Aldridge ignored the needs of her children because she's too wrapped up in cyber things.
You on the Internet at all?
Oh, yes.
You don't have a webpage?
Computer?
Yeah. Too cheap to get a computer. Gilbert, at least Ratso's got a computer.
Yeah. Court
I
records
like to keep on track of who's surrounding my house.
Court records indicate Aldridge has been spending most of her time in her bedroom with the computer, locked away from her children. After an evaluation by a psychologist, the judge concluded that the woman's obsession with the Internet had clouded her judgment. The kids ages 7 and 8 were originally when she and her husband separated. Now the children will move in with their dad.
I know people who are addicted to the Internet. These people, they're on all day and night. You can go into the chat rooms, and they're there all day and night.
Yeah, whenever you go on, they're there.
They're there. And you go, wow. They're always there. If you go on once a day, they're there. It's unbelievable.
All kinds of strange
click.
News in the news stories.
That's Ratso's summer home.
A Syracuse man who was convicted of shaking his infant son to death in 1994 has been given temporary custody of his 2-year-old daughter. Maybe he can do as good a job with it.
Give him a second chance.
Yeah. Guy can make mistakes.
Antonio Galvez
Are you Antonio? Do you have a sister? What's her name?
Sue.
Her name's Sue?
This guy was recently paroled, then a judge in Syracuse, New York, turned the top.
If you were Irish, what would you have for dinner? An Irish stew?
All right, get out of here.
Just imagine these kids. The
Yeah.
judge ruled that the child's mother and her boyfriend are unfit parents because of drinking, drug abuse, and physical abuse in the household.
Maybe they should get a lawyer and he can sue. He'll sue.
So a guy who shook a kid to death is a better parent.
Wow. These guys are found each other, two lovers.
Oh, dear.
We got to, you know what? When next summer comes, we got to go to Ratso's summer home.
Yes.
We got to go.
Because he's always inviting people there.
He's like,
It's a fantastic neighborhood. My neighbors have the greatest tan. I wonder what the SPF is.
A 5-year-old Long Island girl is being credited with helping free herself and her grandfather after two men tied them up and stole cash and other items from their home in Oyster Bay.
I hope they didn't take their rolled penny collection.
The grandfather was babysitting the girl at 9:30 yesterday morning when a man knocked on the door and claimed he'd lost his dog. The guy opened the door,
Terrible.
and the suspect pulled out a gun and forced his way inside. The suspect hit the grandfather in the
And he
head.
said, I'm sorry, I thought this was Ratso's house.
The guy handcuffed him and placed a blanket over his head.
Gilbert, you would never open your door to somebody who needed help, would you? I wouldn't.
The suspect then used duct tape to bind the girl's hands together. Police say the suspect and another man then stole cash and other items from the house before running off.
Dog.
The girl was able to bite through the duct tape.
I have no dog.
I have no dog. Alone. Hunted. I don't have a pooch.
The girl was able to bite through the duct tape.
Wow.
I bite through the duct tape. Pull the strings. Pull the strings.
Then she grabbed the telephone for her grandfather.
Wow.
She will not make it.
Wow.
The police cannot help you now. Even though you bit through the duct tape. Soon you will live forever.
Oh, dear.
You will live the life of the undead. Not alive, not dead, but undead. You will drink the blood of the living.
The grandfather was
It will
taken
keep
to a local
you
hospital.
alive. You will turn into a bat or a wolf. You can only be killed by sunlight or a stake through the heart. And you can have sex with your father anytime you want. Oh, that was the other story.
Do gay vampires bite on the nuts? Dracula Gottfried.
They bite the nuts. They chew the nuts. Even though the nuts are fattening, they bite down on the nuts. Then you know the pain of the undead. Even the dead come to life when you bite on their nuts. I heard the dead scream when you bite on their nuts.
All right, let's continue with the news. Come on,
Talk
this is
about
crazy.
a sad life. You think Gilbert's life is sad?
Yeah, who has a sadder life than Gilbert?
Antonio. Isn't that right, Antonio?
No.
Who has a sadder life?
His sister.
70 years in a North Carolina state mental hospital for a crime he didn't commit.
Okay, that is sadder than Gilbert. Not by
His
much.
name is Junius Wilson.
Blubbity, Junius.
Wow.
And when he was 19 years old, he was convicted of a rape that it turns out he didn't commit. But as a result, he was castrated.
Oh.
Jurors thought Wilson was retarded when they found him incompetent to stand trial.
That is
and
sadder than you.
placed him in a hospital, but he was actually deaf.
Oh.
The charges were dropped in the 70s, but the hospital let him stay when it couldn't find relatives to care for him.
Wow.
And now they are going to court, I guess, to see if he can't spend the rest of his life in this mental hospital because it's the only thing he's known.
Oh, that is the saddest thing. I want to option that story.
Yeah, isn't that the worst?
I want to put Jim Carrey in there. He'll be great. I might get a comedy, of course.
Oh,
Who cares? That guy sells tickets. Gary, send that guy a private parts package.
All right, Ian. Send him an Up All Night T-shirt.
Right, there you go, Gilbert. There you are. You are generous.
Yes.
You're not a stupid Ratso.
A gospel group is taking heat from gay groups. Homosexuality isn't natural. Sisters Angie and Debbie Winans wrote the song called Not Natural after watching an episode of TV's Ellen,
Homos,
where the lead character came out of the closet as a lesbian.
Right.
Their song also addresses premarital sex, violence, and using sex to sell products.
Oh, we got to get that song.
The Winans sing in the chorus, it's not natural. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's cool.
Gilbert, do you agree with that?
It ain't natural. A bloobity 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 and lesbos.
The head of a gay gospel choir in New York says it objects to hearing homosexuality compared to low morality. A Washington, D.C. gospel station has refused to play the song.
Ellen's a lesbian?
Yeah. You got to get cable.
Oh, man.
The sisters aren't backing down. They plan to sing Not Natural at the Million Woman March in Philadelphia on Saturday.
Million Woman March? I didn't know
anything about it.
You better investigate. You ought to go there, Gilbert. There's 1,000,001 odds you get laid. You think you could get laid at the Million Woman March?
A bloobity 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 lay?
2 million breasts. Anything else, Robin?
Yes, Stevie Wonder is a good guy.
He lives next door to Ratso.
He doesn't forget people, Howard. He
Right.
called. He was, I guess, going to stay at the MGM Grand Hotel, and he called to request his favorite limo driver there. And he found out the guy had been killed, so he insisted on singing at the guy's funeral.
Wow.
Charles Lee Redmond was shot to death on October 13th, allegedly by a dancer who had been stalking him and later committed suicide.
A female dancer?
I guess so.
Wow.
So
He
even
was stalked to death.
limo drivers get stalked.
Stevie Wonder sang. He does not see. He cannot see his reflection in the mirror.
It's just like you, right? Dracula Gottfried?
Both of us cannot see our reflection. He comes and he sings for the dead.
Hey, so you like that?
He sings for the dead. Sometimes he sings about being blind and for the phone company. He does songs for the phone company. Reach out and touch someone.
Wonder told the congregation at
How did he tell the congregation? He said, I am blind, don't cut my nuts off.
Oh, dear.
I know you cut the nuts off of deaf people, but don't cut the nuts off because I am blind.
He said he was there out of love.
He said he was there because he thought it was the Grammy.
And their friendship was not based on Wonder's fame. Wonder said he knew the first day he met Redmond that they'd be friends.
Right. Well, there you go. It's a sad story in a sense.
Elton John has bumped off Bing Crosby's White Christmas.
That's right.
With his rendition of Candle in the Wind, 1997. It is now the #1 song of all time. The Guinness Book of Records says nearly 31.8 million copies of the record have been shipped worldwide in its 38 days of release.
I love you, Robin.
Thank you very much. Motley Crue in Pittsburgh. They got before Sunday's show in Pittsburgh.
Wow. You can't do that, right, Gilbert?
You can masturbate and perform oral sex.
You can?
Not when you're dead.
Authorities seized the tape.
If I perform oral sex, I cut the woman up with my fangs.
Was not
pull the string.
Oh, boy. See, now he's gone too far.
Yeah.
All right.
The tape was not played at any other shows. Police say several parents called to complain, and one mother who took her 9-year-old and a 7-year-old to the show.
Well, who takes a 9-year-old to a Motley Crue concert?
I took my daughter there.
Right.
Is considering bringing criminal charges against the band.
Wow. Oh, please.
Can you you imagine?
Oral sex is beautiful.
Please.
Well,
If they have criminal charges,
Oh,
what
come
does
on.
the lawyer do?
Sue.
He sue?
Oh, no. Dennis Rodman has given the Chicago Bulls an ultimatum. He says he wants a signed contract by noon tomorrow or he's going elsewhere. I told you yesterday he's balking at some incentives currently included in that contract he has with the Bulls that remains unsigned.
Yeah. He doesn't think he can meet the incentives because half the team is sick.
I know.
So he figures,
They should lower the standards there.
wow.
Well, we'll have to see what the Bulls do. Keenan Ivory Wayans, we were talking about Vibe earlier in the day.
Did you ever do that show, Gilbert? Seriously, Vibe?
Oh, no.
Surprise.
The one black show I haven't done.
You're on tons of black shows.
Yes.
Black people like Gilbert.
Yeah.
They do. I don't know why.
I should live with Ratso.
He does all the black movies. He was in How to Be a Player.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were very good in that.
Yes, I was. I thought the book was better.
Right.
Anyway, Keenan Ivory Wayans also has a show on Late Night Talk.
What's he say?
The Vibe guy is...
Bloopity, Vibe.
Sinbad.
Yeah.
So Keenan is out promoting his movie right now, and they asked him about his TV show. Here's why he decided to do a talk show.
I love TV, and I had great success in television, and the movie industry is fun, but it doesn't have the same consistency as TV, and people easily can forget, and you pretty much judge project by project. And so the advantage in TV is it gives you a consistent exposure, and...
What do you think the TV show's ruining him? It's kind of bad, his TV show?
It's very difficult, I think,
Yeah.
for a lot of these people to come up with that funny stuff every night of the week.
Every night? How about one night?
Well, maybe for the sake of consistency, you do it none at all.
Right.
All those guys have done it in their way. The only thing that separates me from Johnny Carson is who we are as hosts. And Johnny had one style, and Jack Parr had another style, and I have another style. We all have different sensibilities, and
couldn't he talk a bit faster?
Humorous, and that's really what it is. It's the host, and that's what I discovered most in my sort of research. I realized
he researched
not the show.
Oh,
it's
but
the host
I'm not a
because the
Schwarzer.
format.
What was that, Johnny?
But I'm not a Schwarzer.
Is what it is. And yes, you can try and embellish on the format, but all of that is irrelevant because it's the host that people are tuning in to see.
Oh, he's killing me.
So in other words, he says the host is what makes a talk show different. And
Oh, really?
finally, he tells us how you get guests.
Uh-oh.
The show becomes secondary. Your guests become secondary. It's about you, your monologue, the sketches that you do.
For such low rating, should he really be philosophizing about,
your comments on your guests. It's your conversation with them.
But you have to have some success before you get to be interviewed.
I learned in doing my homework, basically.
You didn't sound all
That's
that.
a lot of homework.
Yeah, for a guy not getting any ratings. Less homework, more jokes.
If my show doesn't work out, I might have to live next door to Ratso, but I do not look forward to it.
Bill Cosby has been given a second series by CBS. They have confirmed that he will host a series of versions of Kids Say the Darndest
They say the darndest thing in the rent.
The network has ordered 12
boobity.
half-hour episodes of the show for the mid-season.
Right.
The kids' concept, of course, started back in 1952 with Art Linkletter's House Party.
Sounds like a winner.
It talks to kids about it.
Bill Cosby droning on with children.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I like to see.
So you ever liked so bold name?
They should have a show for pedophiles. With Bill Cosby and some young kids. That's something you tune into.
So would you like to touch my bow giggle? Would you like to do the BC boo baba doo?
What would be funny is you have a group of kids with Bill Cosby and they all claim that he's their father. That would be really good. Yeah, I'll watch that. What's up with that? All right, Robin. Is that what's happening?
Do you want to know how it turned out for Johnny Rotten with Judge Judy, or would you rather wait till you see the show?
I'd rather know from you.
I think Johnny Rotten wins his case.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, see, you should have told us.
Killed it.
Now I can't watch.
What the dealio?
Right.
And they think that Roman Polanski might wind up back in New York if he gets to return to the United States.
Don't tell me that.
They have come up with some kind of a musical version of an old film that he did.
Yeah.
He would love to produce it on Broadway.
Lolita.
Yeah. How about we deny him that pleasure?
So those negotiations, I don't know whether they're still going on in California or not. You don't hear anything, but the rumor is that Roman Polanski is negotiating to get back into the country.
What are you saying?
Escaping after pleading guilty to statutory rape.
Wow. Gilbert Gottfried at Caroline's next Wednesday, October 29th, Robin.
Well, that's wonderful.
I know you'll be there. We could go heckle him.
And USA
How do you
up all
heckle
night.
Gilbert?
And you still have that job?
Don't remind me.
Wow.
Yes.
USA up all night to host the bad movies?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, that's a long-standing job.
Yeah, I mean, when are you going to get your honorary Emmy?
Yeah, that's right.
It's a horrible show. Tune in and see Gilbert.
Are they pleased with your performance now? For a while, they were a little upset with you, said you weren't putting any energy.
Yeah, it wasn't intense enough.
Right. They accuse you of not putting enough energy into that horrible show. Like, wouldn't you be embarrassed if you had to put energy into that? Yeah, I planned this for a week.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I really thought about what I'm going to do.
I see the character as Henry.
Do you put some effort into it now?
Oh, yes.
No, seriously, do you?
Yeah, I study with Strasbourg.
All right. Jackie the Jokeman Marlowe has 2 filthy and funny CDs, Sgt. Pecker and The Joke Man. Only $12 plus $4 shipping and handling. Also on cassette, buy 2, get 1 free. Call 1-800-323-KING. Why don't you have a CD? I don't understand.
He doesn't have a CD. He doesn't have a DVD. He has nothing.
Jackie has all of
He
this.
doesn't have a webpage.
Friday and Saturday, Jackie, November 7th and 8th at the Riviera Hotel. Now, there's a gig.
Oh,
that's good.
nothing.
Even Gilbert's like, how did he get there? On the Strip in Las Vegas. For information and Nancy Jokes, visit jokeland.com. Gilbert, I told you Caroline's next Wednesday, October 29th. Geez, who else do I have to plug here? Don't miss Stuttering John hosting the 2nd annual beauty contest at Club Paradise in Las Vegas this Saturday night from 10 to 12 midnight.
He's in Vegas, too?
He's in Vegas. There's a guy who's angry with Gilbert. He says he ruins the show. Jeff, you think he ruined the show?
Obvious.
Did Gilbert ruin the show? Gilbert? I mean,
yeah.
Jeff?
Yes.
All right, he's gone, Gilbert. You got off the hook on that one. I didn't think you ruined the show. You made it bad, but you didn't ruin it.
You didn't completely ruin it.
Right, you didn't completely ruin it. Now, tomorrow, Sternak will be here. All right, so there it is.
Another one in the can.
Another one in the can. Wow.
Have you ever had it in the can? Has your sister? What's her name?